Stop worrying about other people. You cannot keep lying to yourself to try and keep everyone else around you comfortable. Now, let me explain. But before I do so, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Carson. I started this channel basically in an effort to tell you the lessons I'm going through, the mistakes I'm making, to ensure that you don't make those same mistakes and become the best version of yourself just a little bit faster. For you people pleasers out there, just like me, this video is going to hit a little too close to home for you because it's something I struggled with for many, many years. So chances are, if you're a people pleaser, you probably do as well. Most people live half real versions of themselves because they're scared of making other people uncomfortable. When someone comes around, and I'll tell you a story about my personal life here in a second, but when people come around, and I want you to think about this for yourself, and they say something that you don't necessarily agree with, but you're not that comfortable with this person, you don't know them that well, and they say something that is either against what you believe or disrespectful in some way to somebody else, and you just agree with them or laugh it off because you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable or like you're calling them out or whatever it might be. That is you lying to yourself. That is you giving up a part of yourself and a version of yourself to keep everyone else around you comfortable and keep the mood light. The cost of this is that you're betraying yourself. You're not staying true to your word or your beliefs, what you truly feel is right. And you're letting other people take that version of you from yourself. Now, a little story from my life. I remember one experience very vividly, but I had some people come over and they started talking about stuff that I don't necessarily believe in. And the other friend that I had there with me, they expressed to me prior that it's something they really were not comfortable being around and they really dislike it. And it hurt their feelings. Well, these people started talking about this thing. And it was in my house. So, I mean, I kind of had this opportunity to step up and say, like, hey, we don't talk about this in my house, knowing that it made this other friend uncomfortable. But they said this thing. And in that moment, the mood was great. Everything was fun. And I didn't want to cause any problems. So I decided to just laugh it off and hope my other friend didn't catch on. Instead of sticking up for that friend, sticking up for what I believe in my own house, I decided to let these people do whatever they want and not set that boundary to preserve the vibe and the energy and to not make anyone uncomfortable. And this is a very common thing that a lot of us, until we become aware of this, don't catch ourselves doing on a day-to-day basis, but it happens all the time. Someone says something to us and we laugh it off, even if we know it's disrespectful, we know it's not good, but we choose to laugh it off anyways. Someone disrespects one of our friends or loved ones, and we laugh it off because we don't want to have that confrontation and make people feel uncomfortable or like we're blowing things out of proportion. People pleasers like to kind of go under the radar and make sure that everyone around them is feeling great, no matter what the detriment is to that. But people respect truth more than comfort. And that's what it's taken me all the way up until a couple months ago to realize. The true people that you want to surround yourself with are going to respect someone a million times more if they are going to call them out when they're doing something wrong, when they're making people around them feel like trash. It's going to push away some of those people, of course, who aren't there, who aren't good friends, who aren't good people. But it's going to attract and strengthen relationships with those who are. In the short term, you're going to lose some people. It's just going to happen. There's going to be a lot of pain, a lot of struggle, Because these people who only liked you because of how you made them feel and how you always had a good vibe about you and everything was just smooth when they were with you, they're not going to stick around. But the people who loved you for you, not just how you made them feel, are going to stick around, and your relationship with them is going to strengthen. You're going to become someone that other people can look up to because you're doing the hard thing of calling other people out when it's necessary. Now, of course, there's a line to this. You can't just go out in public calling every single person out, because no one really likes to be around that person, and it's just annoying. Who's calling out every single person, regardless of if you know them, how close they are, so on and so forth. But when you're in your environment and you have people to protect or vouch for, then you should never feel guilty for speaking up when you know that it's right. I found the most growth in businesses and work, the most success, the most personal growth, the strongest relationships when I started making this change. And I'm nowhere near perfect at it. There's still a lot of room to go. But even just small little changes on a daily basis have made a massive impact on myself. And the biggest shift for me that I had to come to terms with to really help me get over this is, I want you to think about when you have kids and someone comes up to your kid and says something in your environment that is directly against what you believe and what you teach your child. Are you going to say something to them, or are you going to let that person say whatever it is to your child and not speak up for them? In the long run, your child's probably going to be confused. They might not believe you as much. Who knows what's going to happen? All because you're trying to preserve your short-term comfort and other people's short-term comfort. You're not just going to have a kid and this is magically going to change and you're going to be able to do this. You need to start making that effort today to break this habit of people pleasing that you've built up and I've built up, so that when other people come around that you have to protect and is your duty to protect, you have the ability to. So, my challenge for you to leave this video, I want you to think of one place and one area, one person, or one specific experience where you didn't speak up and you chose to preserve comfort over speaking up for your true self. Next time that comes around, because chances are if it happened once, it's likely going to happen again. Next time that comes around, speak up for yourself. You owe it to yourself and you owe it to other people around you. Now, for those of you who have a hard time with this kind of stuff, people pleasing, so on and so forth, obviously it's one of the biggest things I've had to overcome and I'm still working on overcoming, but I made a little quiz down in the description of this video. It's going to help you pinpoint exactly where you're stuck and how to actually break free for good. For a lot of you, it's probably going to be people pleasing, but off of that, it's going to give you actionable steps to actually overcome that for good from someone who is overcoming these kind of things. So feel free to check that out. It's down in the description of this video. It takes 60 seconds, completely free. It's like 5 questions, so no harm, no foul. Give it a shot, and hopefully it helps out at least one of you. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this, learned something new, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for yet another video. Subscribe, and I'll see you then. Peace.